Guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of About Ukraine. And in this video, I guess I'm going to talk about corruption. It's something that everybody talks about, and it's like Ukraine is the number one corrupt country in Europe, and it used to be true at one point. This video is not really about that. It's mostly about why Ukraine is not as corrupt as you may think, and the myth surrounding corruption in general. First of all, what is corruption in the first place? Well, from my understanding, is corruption is when the official way of doing something is so convoluted and confusing and expensive and inconvenient that the best thing to do is to pay a bribe to get it done quickly or to just get it done, period. On that front, I must say that there's no corruption in everyday life for Ukrainians when you think about it. I've been living here for 6 years and I haven't encountered it even once. And I've been through government services, I've been in hospitals, I've been like all over the place, and haven't seen it. So the case of the matter is, if you were to open a bank account, if you were to get a social security number, if you were to get anything like that, it's going to be a simple and straightforward process. If you were to get a car here, you want to get it registered, you want to buy property, you want to get it registered, it's a very simple and straightforward process. Again, if you want to renew something like your temporary residency, or you want to renew your something like a marriage certificate, you want to get married, whatever, it's also used to be a lot difficult. Now they have these centers that offer you like a wide spectrum of services, government services in one place. You have things like electronic lines where you get to register online, or you come in and then you get a number and everybody explains the process to you in a clear and simple way. And obviously in these scenarios, there's no room for corruption in the first place. They're, like I said, they're quick, they're easy, either free or $20, $50, something that's fully digestible by the average population. There's a caveat with that though, and that's like if you want to get something done really quickly and you have a guy, that can get you in front of the line or something like that as a friend, or let's say you're doing a driver's test, you're like 1 point short of passing it, and maybe there's some like wiggle room in there as well. I guess it's because during the past 10 years, Ukrainians haven't been that allegiant to the legal system in the first place. Another area where there's a lot of misconception is the healthcare system, because in practice, healthcare is free and you don't have to pay for things like the doctor's visits, consultations, that sort of thing. You may have to pay for things like medical supplies. If you require specialized care that is out of the scope of like regular checkups and that sort of thing, you may have to actually pay up for that. But then again, it's a free market. You have lots of medical professionals to choose from. You're not obliged to like stick with one. And there's really, again, there's always the ability to go abroad if you really want to. Another thing that's worth mentioning is the shadow economy. And shadow economy is something that is also lumped into this corruption pile. And this can be said by the fact that Minister of Social Policy said something like the overall government workers payment system amounts to something like 500 billion hryvnias a year. And something like half of that is given on top in envelopes, right? It's paid in cash on a side alongside official salary. But what it really does is it tells you that Ukrainian GDP per capita is probably equal to Belarus or more than that by now. And officially, it's not. Officially, apparently, Ukrainian is very poor, right? These small-scale businesses like repair, cook, lease, create, basically they create value of some form without registration, without licensing, without paying taxes, that sort of thing. And that is basically what the shadow economy figure really means. What about politics? Well, in terms of politics, I believe that political corruption is a worldwide phenomenon. It's worldwide. Politicians in general, we've seen that politicians don't answer to the people anymore. They answer to, well, they never really have. I think they answer to donors, to lobbyists, shape their foreign policy according to different, external powers that be. In that sense, the Ukrainian government is the same as any other government. And the real issue is along the lines of criminality. It's criminal misappropriation of funds, criminal misappropriation of law. What that means is that the majority of people, when given the opportunity, they're going to use their position to embezzle funds, create complex structures that allow them to make money, right? There are a few main reasons why that works. The legal system around the tax laws is really weak, right? It basically allows for willful evasion of taxes. It allows for willful sort of dodging the rules around paying into the budget, essentially, and that means that the budget doesn't receive a lot of money that it should be receiving. The second thing that is also pretty weak is the thing around border policies and stuff like that. But what that does is allows many players to kind of evade customs duties. Right? You have Europe on one side, you have Russia on the other side. There's a conflict with Russia. There's a gray zone in the middle, Donbass area, all these countries that border Ukraine, Romania, right? So there's a lot of entry points. And the last thing I would say is probably insider trading is another one. As you know, the Ukrainian hryvnia, the currency, is not very stable. It jumps up and down, and there's a lot of speculation on things like the bond market, oligarchs that try to influence it. Privatization is another hot topic. Apparently it's supposed to help raise money for the government. It's supposed to get rid of some of these large objects, like large factories and stuff like that make a lot of money. But again, there's a lot of room for playing the systems, a lot of room to make money. And obviously, whenever there's opportunity to make money, money is going to be made to have the resources that can do something about it. So, I mean, these three things I think that will be with Ukraine for a while. And again, it's not really part of corruption. It's part of the way that the system is set up. Obviously, all that rests on the fact that Ukraine has a pretty weak legal system. It's something that is being worked on right now. And Ukraine has a lot of problems as a result of that in terms of no investments, right? Like, the largest investor in Ukraine is the European Bank of Construction and Development. I don't think it invests more than a few $100 million a year in Ukraine, which is completely pitiful. I mean, Ukraine has a lot of potential, a lot of natural resources, and I guess that's a story for another video. But I guess I hope this video kind of helps you guys understand the situation in Ukraine and then why corruption is very much an old-fashioned, I guess, an outdated term to describe Ukraine right now. Hope you like this video, and let me know what you think about it in the comments below and what you think in general. I'll conclude it by saying that Ukraine has completely changed. I mean, the outdated notion is mostly due to the fact that Ukraine really was corrupt 10 years ago. 2010, 2011, it was a horrible place to live in terms of for foreigners, for regular people, and that's really changed. I mean, and it's changing, it's continuing to change, and Ukraine is a country that sort of went past the point of no return, and hopefully, these changes will happen sooner than later. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. Until next time.